Right now, the biggest problem that Redmond faces is the same that a lot of our area cities and the nation faces, and that is affordable housing. And followed by affordable housing is, of course, our unhoused population and homelessness. The best way, I think, to address this is going to be finding ways to create more workforce housing, whether it's through densification, zoning changes, and then working with our building partners to find affordable ways to create long-term market rate and lower 80% of the average median housing that can service people for 99 years and not 5 years would be my suggestion. Well, as stated, our housing needs analysis and our 2040 plan, while they were great when they were created, did not account for the rapid growth we've seen. And in the last 2 years, we've had up to 8 and 11 people per day moving into Redmond alone. And while we have an excellent growth plan, our model for our infrastructure was not necessarily in place for that rapid of development. So we're going to have to do a little bit more work on our water and sewer to our outlying areas that we're annexing in. Obviously, some road improvements for transportation and traffic. I think we've got 8 working wells. We're bringing another one online, and then we'll take one well off. And we are looking at the wetlands complex, which is out northwest of the city, and I highly sponsor that. That'll give us a 30 to 40 year septic and sewage treatment plant that's very environmentally friendly and green, and allow us to incorporate even Terrebonne in, should they choose. And if we stay in the dry canyon, that gives us a 12 to 15 year span, and we will have to create a whole new place to go. So I think those are really important topics to focus on in the next 2 years. If reelected, or actually elected, in the first 60 days, I think the most important thing to do would be to actually redevelop and build a culture with the new councilors. We will be a relatively young council with a new mayor, and I think it's a great opportunity to figure out how to work with each other, get to know each other, and build a really positive culture so that we're getting things done. The most important thing, obviously, would also be bringing them up to speed on the policies that we are focusing on for the 2023-2024 affordable housing, Skyline Village, the infrastructure that I spoke about at the wetlands. All those things will be things they'll have to come to speed on, and improvements to transportation. Outside of what we've already touched upon, our need for more affordable housing, we really are in a childcare desert, and it's so difficult to bring people to a community where we don't have the services that support them to be at workforce jobs and have both couples working. So childcare is probably a huge priority for me. I would love to see a way to make sure that every community that we expand and build into had a dedicated space for a childcare center. And that would probably help us immediately offset some of those needs. I work with the Child Care Task Force currently, and we struggle to find spaces that are available for ready and willing providers. They just don't exist. So I think that's a big one there. And then the other problem that I see, again, would be a lack of place for our seniors and our kids to go play. So I support the rec center for that reason. I know that it's a tax burden for the community of Redmond, but we actually need a really healthy and safe place for them to play year-round, and that would be a really important feature to have. And it's stuff that I think when people move here, they're looking for places where mom can go do her water aerobics, kids can go learn to play and be productive in a low-cost, community-supported way. I'm Cat Zwicker, and I'm running for Redmond City Council.